All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is Robert Whittaker. We're supposed to take on a Hamzat, but he's not. He's taking on somebody who's a little more dangerous. That's what people are saying. Let's see how Bobby Knuckles can do. Round one. Whittaker not as bouncy as he usually is. So each. Oh yeah! Oh, he's still hurt. There's that same side. There's that right same side to kick. Oh! Ooh! Bobby Knuckles, the Reaper. Nice. Woo! Wow. I pick less on that one, baby. Damn, Whittaker look good. Clean. Very strategic, very straightforward, no wasted movement. He took it directly to his opponent and dropped him. Clean. Clean, clean, clean. Wow. Congrats to Robert Whittaker. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. And we just got done watching Robert Whittaker, aka the Reaper, aka Bobby Knuckles, finish IKRAM in the very first round via knockout. So let's go ahead and talk about, what Robert Whittaker did very well. One, he came out there and he really didn't take the stance as he usually takes. What I mean by that is when he's bouncing back and forth, he's light on his toes, he's in and out of the distance. He really did take that approach. Right when the fight started, we saw Robert Whittaker go hunting. His elevation was a lot lower. He was still light on his feet, but he was engaging and crossing the distance. Now, Robert Whittaker loves to, he likes to open up with that double jab, lower his elevation, double jab to get to his opponent. Now, IKRAM that's the first time I've seen IKRAM fight, and he seemed like he was a little bit of slow starter, and I think Robert took advantage of that. He jumped right on him with that hunting stance. Now, one of the things that Robert Whittaker did very well is that he was timing each time IKRAM was on his foot. Now, I don't want to say the choice that IKRAM took to try to land that lead knee against Robert Whittaker. Typically, it's very good when you do it against guys who are a lot shorter than you. If you look at Jose Aldo, he blasted someone with WC. He also hit Chad Mendes with a knee when he broke away from distance with that lead knee. It's an interesting choice to use, especially with someone who's not as short as you. I mean, I would say they're pretty much equal in height, but when you do that, you're on one foot. And so when you get punched with one foot or you get pushed over with one foot, you don't have a lot of balance. And your body's not in a position to reciprocate that energy. So once Robert Whittaker hit him with that right hand and he was on one leg, it was pretty much all she wrote. And Robert Whittaker was able to recognize that, see it, follow up with his signature bop bop, right hand, right high kick, and it came up behind the back of his head. Granted, it wasn't a very big blow, but it was a blow. The blow was enough to keep IKRAM in a dazed-like state. Then once he was in that dazed-like state, he followed up, did an uppercut. That uppercut dropped him. And then once he dropped him, he was able to get to the angle and hit him with a couple more shots, and that's all she wrote. Now, here's the thing. When he threw that uppercut, typically, when you see someone who's hurt, you want to throw the uppercut because the natural reaction is to go like this. They duck down, they get scared. But IKRAM didn't do that. Robert Whittaker went boom and threw that uppercut and brought it way up and killed him on the chin, and that's what made him drop. Now, beautiful display of technique. I would say no wasted energy whatsoever from Robert Whittaker. He took it directly to IKRAM. Now, this fight was supposed to be against Hamzat. Now, I'm kind of curious how the fight would have happened if he went against Hamzat. Now, I hope he would have done the same approach, which would have been good, because I think when you take the fight to the other opponent, it makes for a better fight, and it gives you opportunities to actually score that knockdown. If Robert Whittaker would have played it easy and tested his distance and did the jumping kick, side kicks, I don't think we would have this knockout. It might have happened, but it might not happen as soon as how Robert Whittaker just jumped on him and landed that right hand. Now, hopefully we'll get to see that fight down the line if Hamzat can get healthier. But right now, Robert Whittaker is healthy, and he just said at the end of his post-fight that he would love to be a backup fight against DDP and Izzy Adesanya, which is the next middleweight title fight at UFC 305. Now, I like that. I like it, and it gives him the opportunity to wait in the wings. Or, I saw our good friend from the show, Errol Hawani, posted Robert Whittaker versus Sean Strickland. Now, I like that matchup too. The biggest thing in that fight, Robert Whittaker's got to just take a page out of Kamaru Usman's book and basically model what Kamaru Usman did to Sean Strickland. I didn't even know Kamaru Usman and Sean Strickland fought, but I watched it and I saw how Kamaru Usman beat the living hell out of Sean Strickland. And Sean Strickland had the same game plan to walk him forward. His style hasn't changed. Now, if let's go ahead and do a precursor of what could happen. Now, if Robert Whittaker gets the opportunity to fight Sean Strickland, I think Robert Whittaker's got to be able to cross the void and not allow Sean Strickland to dictate the pace and march across the void and do what he does best, which is shut people down. Or if we have Robert Whittaker being the backup fighter for DDP or Izzy Adesanya, we already saw what happened with Robert Whittaker versus DDP. We had Robert Whittaker on the Mighty Cast, and he said his mindset really going into that fight wasn't the best place. So with Robert Whittaker on a tear right now, he just beat Costa. He just beat IKRAM. I think he's in a right mind space where I think he can give a better challenge to DDP than the very first time they fought. Now, let's say that DDP gets sick or whatever may happen, or he misses weight. We have no fucking idea what can happen because I cannot predict the future, unfortunately. But if I could predict the future, you would have Robert Whittaker stepping in for DDP, taking on Izzy Adesanya. Now, this is also going to be another rematch. At this point in time, I believe Robert Whittaker is at the peak of his career at that time when he was the champion, and he lost to a young rising star in Izzy Adesanya. Now, that, I believe, the Robert Whittaker versus Izzy Adesanya is a tougher fight. Reason why is because Izzy Adesanya is a stand-up killer. He ended up knocking out Bobby Knuckles, and I don't know how Bobby Knuckles is going to be able to get across the void and get to Izzy Adesanya. So we'll have to see. But I think all three of those matchups are great. And I also think if you want to do a title contender who's going to be next in line for the belt, I guess you can do Sean Strickland versus Robert Whittaker. And the winner of that could fight for the middleweight title after DDP and Izzy Adesanya get done fighting. Because I think when you look at the landscape of the middleweight division, there really isn't nobody else. Like, nobody else pops in my mind right now. We know Costa just fought Sean Strickland. The fight was very lackluster. We know Rob Whittaker just fought Costa. That was a sick-ass fight. And we just saw Rob Whittaker finish a very young stud in IKRAM. So I think if you don't want to give Rob Whittaker the next title shot, have him fight Sean Strickland, have him beat the people's champ. If he's able to do that in spectacular fashion, there's no reason why we cannot see a rematch between DDP and Robert Whittaker, or Izzy Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker. So I think that storyline is setting up to be real, real nice, because no matter whatever happens, there's always going to be a rematch between those four gentlemen, right? You had Sean Strickland fight DDP. You had Sean Strickland fight Izzy Adesanya. You had Robert Whittaker fight Izzy, and you also had Robert Whittaker fight DDP. So no matter whatever happens in that four love triangle or square, whatever you want to call it, I think we can see a rematch down the line between these four middleweight champion. Other than that, I can't think of anybody else. But besides those guys, I think those are the top four names, or that might be the top five guys in the middleweight division. I would have to do some more research on who else is in the middleweight division. Or we might see Leon Edwards after he beats Bilal Muhammad. Maybe he might go to the middleweight division to try to win, become a dual weight champion. So, I mean, I think Robert Whittaker did a phenomenal job taking the fight to IKRAM, and I'm excited to see what's next for him. He got this fight healthy, unscathed. I think overall it was a great fight. Great free card on ABC. As we always say, boys, if it's free, it's for me. I am your host of the Mighty Gaming channel. Make sure you like, subscribe. Also, hit the bell to go live, and we will see you guys at the next video.